how strange is the Masters going to be without patrons?
It's extremely strange. I think a lot of guys are going to be in the same position where the golf course itself opens up. You can see certain pins on greens which you've never normally seen before because of the patrons that have been sitting, some of the stands
That aren't there now.
that are just not there. So you stand in the middle of the 15th fairway, the par 5, and there's normally a huge stand to the left with several thousand people. That's gone. So that whole left side's opened up. The stand to the right is gone. You know, there's a big expanse of greenery that's just open. How that's going to affect the wind around the course, I'm not sure. But it just looks different. The visuals are a little different. Even playing 13, the par 5 around the corner, normally, you know, to a layup position, you've always got the fans kind of where you're going to want to push the ball sometimes as far right as possible. There's no one there. So it's kind of the stand to the left of 14. It's not there. So now when you stand in there and you're going to lay up, it's kind of, you've got to kind of pick your line again. And you know, so it will play, I think, different from that aspect. Obviously no noise. We're going to be looking at boards, going to try and get a gauge from the boards instead of listening to the roar and then look at the board.
But even sometimes, like, it's not like there's a bunch of boards there. So, because I feel like a lot of times you'd hear the roars and you'd have a good idea of who it was or where it was, and then you'd look for the board for confirmation.
You can tell a tiger roar.
Yes.
You can tell what's going on. You can tell what's going on, and I think there's going to be something different for leaders this year on the back nine. If things are kind of tight, let's take last year, for example, when you have Brooks hitting on the water on 12, and then Tony and Francesco. With all these things going on, and you're a couple holes ahead, you have no clue who it is, on what you know, what's happening, especially when Brooks eagled 13 afterwards. So being able to hear those moments, you know something good's happening, so it kind of pushes you to make some birdies coming down the stretch just in case you need to. Right now, you won't hear anything. And 2 holes later, you might find out, oh, this happened, you know. So it can, not that it'll affect the outcome of the tournament, but I feel like it will affect a bit of what back nine of the Masters on Sunday feels like.
Yeah, kind of that energy that pushes everyone to have that, you know, last 6-hole run. You know, it could still happen, but it's a little different when you're hearing the roars and the people and you get on that run, and it's gonna be you and your caddy.